Welcome, educators that want to learn a little more about division strategies for fourth, fifth, and sixth graders. I wanted to start first with a quick example or explanation as to why we do not encourage you only teach traditional method, um, especially not first and not putting a lot of emphasis on it. Even when kids do really well with it early on, it eventually becomes much more complicated, and the complexity of it often causes a lot of frustration for students later on. So I want to give just a short example of a simple problem such as 864 divided by 3. This is a fourth grade level division problem. If students are pretty quick with their facts, or even if they're not, it's still at least a basic fact for them to work through, then they can easily go, okay, 3 goes into 8 two times. That gives me 6 groups, or 6 in the 2 groups. I have 2 left. Bring down the 6. Now I'm looking at 26. If they get their facts correct, they're going to go with 8. Some students might have to work through all of their facts or skip count 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24 to get there. And hopefully they counted their fingers correctly at 8 to get that. Once they subtract this, they have 2 left and they drag down their 4. 24. Well, that's the same thing I had last time. So 8 more groups gives me 24, and I have nothing left as a remainder. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Again, if they're confident with their math facts, this is a breeze for kids. Then, however, we get to fifth grade, and now we have to divide by double digits. And so it's no longer a divisor of 3. We're going to jump up and do a divisor of, let's say, 16. Same problem, 864, and we're going to divide by 16. My basic facts no longer benefit me when trying to solve this. I have to figure out how many 16s go into 86. Even as an adult, I do not look at that and know instantly where I need to go. We get some students that begin playing around. Well, 16 times 1 is 16, and 16 times 2 is 32, if they even can get that far. 16 times 3, well, my head, I'm doing 30 and 18, so that's 48. Students without a mental strategy are doing traditional multiplication off to the side for every single problem. 48 still not high enough, so I'm going to keep going. Times 4, let's see, we are now at 40 plus 24. I have 64. Ooh, I have a 64 in my problem, but that doesn't help me yet. 16 times 5. Oh, I'm at 80. 80 is pretty close to 86. I'm a really low confidence student. I'm going to try 16 times 6 too, just to make sure, because I don't want to make a mistake. And that gets me all the way up to 96. Now, I did all that work and I did it fairly quickly because I have mental math strategies in my brain that I can use. Students that do not have those mental strategies are over here working out 16 times 4 and getting 24 and carrying it over. And they're doing all of these problems stretched out in order to figure out that my first step is 16 times 5. That's 80. Okay, now I can subtract, and I have 64. If I kept track of all my work over here, I have 16 times 4 is 64, so luckily my work is done. I can put up my 4 groups, subtract, and I'm done. Yes, it still works. Yes, they still get the correct answer, but this step right here causes incredible anxiety and frustration for students. I remember that even in my own past, having to work through 8 different multiplication problems before I could figure out the division problem. So by using some different strategies, we can alleviate that stress. We can alleviate the pain of that. And this even was still a fairly basic problem as double digits. When they're dividing by 23 and 37 and 62, this process is tedious and painful for a lot of students that need something a little more comfortable for them. So this is just a very beginning why. I can go more in depth if anyone is interested, but I'm trying to keep it short and sweet for this. The next video will show you some of the different strategies that we can use with our students.